As promised, we're gonna do another eye look with these multi-chromes. I can't decide which one I wanna use, the pink or the orange. Let's see. I think I wanna use the pink one today. I'm gonna use the Sephora eye primer today. I do like this one. It is going to go on transparent. And I will say, it's not quite as tacky as the Milk, but it's kind of in that realm. And it doesn't dry down too quickly. And I like that because we don't want shadow bases to dry down too quickly because then they're not going to enhance the pigment of the eyeshadow the way that we want. I haven't used this palette in a while. I'm gonna grab that shade on an E28, press that into my socket and transition it out a little bit. I'm just gonna keep building it up a little bit. Grab some more. I will say that Sephora primer is really nice and smoothing. Look at how smooth my lids look. Not sure how much depth I want to add, but I'm gonna grab this shade on the tip of the brush. I'm gonna start to press this on my brow bone and just kind of soften over this way. We're in for a treat today. Jean is behind me taking a bath, and I know you can hear those absolute goblin noises. I think Doug's doing something over there too. It's bath time. I'm gonna grab this shade, and I think I'm gonna do kind of the V here. Bring it that way. I'm gonna grab a little bit on the tip of the brush, the same shade. Is that the same shade? What did I grab? It was this one. Don't ask. And then I'm gonna push it into the socket. I think I'll go ahead and bring it all the way over. I might want to switch to a smaller brush. I'm gonna tap that. The goblin noises. Then I'm gonna grab this shade, but notice I switched to a fluffier brush. Nice and fluffy. That way I can just kind of tap. Let me make sure I'm really nice and focused. I start here and I tap, and then I just kind of continue to blur and blend everything together. That looks really nice. Jeannie, are you done with your bath? Yep. Now he's about to holler and want out because now he wants to go get a drink of water. I did decide that I wanted to grab this color. But remember I said I wanted to switch to a smaller brush? I want to add a little bit more definition. This tutorial's absolute chaos. Well, it's chaos for me because now Jean already wants back in. And once we add the sparkle here, adding that little bit of depth is going to really make the sparkle pop because you're kind of capturing it and then it just enhances it. Yes, the jazz fingers were needed. I feel like we forget that we don't have to start an eyeshadow look with a particular shape in mind. We can kind of go with the flow. I'm gonna grab these two colors, and I kind of left the center open just a little bit accidentally. So I thought, why not just take a lighter shadow and kind of cancel that out? So we have a little bit of a spotlight eye. Little happy accident, if you will. Jean went to Ben's room. He just picked Ben over me. I will recover. I'm gonna take Ulta Beauty Flower Power, carve this out a little bit. I thought this would be fun. One thing I love in an eye look is contrast. Okay. And then before it completely sets, notice I'm doing one eye at a time. I'm gonna grab the pink and I'm gonna start to just kind of pull it through here. I want it to be more impactful in the center, or I mean in the front. I'm mesmerized, I don't even know what I'm saying. And then have it kind of scatter like a firework over here. One of the easiest ways to get dimension across the lash line in a hurry, take eyeshadow base, okay? Grab a brown, I'm gonna grab this brown, and I'm using that eyeshadow base kind of as a mixing medium. Just make sure that you really press it into that base, and now we have a smudgy lash line. I want to melt these edges, so I'm taking my micellar water, and instead of just doing kind of that lifted look, we'll do a more rounded look with this. I am going to add lashes, but I feel like this look would be just fine without. But I'm wanting some floofers. I'm also going to melt in here a little bit too. Lily Lashes Self-Adhesive. This is the Style Trendsetter. And what I'm doing is, here, I'm up close. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that it's really close to my actual skin at this point of placing, because it's able to be in contact with that warmth, and that's what these need. So if I just kind of keep wiggling it really close to my lash line and even hold it for a second, there you go. It's gonna start to adhere. And then I let it sit here a little floppy for a second. Then I start to clamp it onto the skin. I will say lash tweezers help so much. There you go. I'm gonna do my Essence foundation stick, and if I have to pick an affordable foundation stick, this is gonna be the one. So I was gonna use this brush, but it's sold out. Thank you. So instead, I'll use the C42, and that's even gonna give us a little bit more coverage. I'm still gonna use concealer, so I'm not gonna bring it all the way up. Watch this. Nice. No, not the hair. Please. Very melty, melty. I will say if you have oily skin, I would do a little powder underneath and do a little bit more there. There you go. Natasha Denona concealer. I'm gonna put a little bit through here. I'm gonna do extra coverage. It's normally just in the center of my face. That way it can kind of work itself outwards. I normally don't do a lot of coverage for every day, usually just Feral Monday, but this is about where I'm at, which is still quite a bit. But y'all know what I'm capable of. If you've ever watched a Feral Monday, you know what can happen around these parts. Oh, this brush is coming back in the fall. Just got the confirmation, the official confirmation. This is the C32. I'm gonna put this blush on. I'm gonna put it on this side of my face because I'm gonna go film a video. And the reason that this is even getting a video is because out of all of the dewy blushes that have released, I think this one's my fave. And the reason why is because once it dries down, and I'll show it in the video, it doesn't move. So it actually has some staying power, which is very rare when it comes to a dewy blush. And I think they're beautiful. Now it is very sheer. That is something to keep in mind. But also you can definitely build up the color like I'm about to do. But I always like to get a wash and then enhance. All right, I'm back. We're setting this side. I'm gonna set my under eye with the puff and the center of my face, but I'm gonna set the blush with the D1, the puff brush side, just for a nice veil. Look how pretty that blush is set. I already set this side. I wanna do a nude waterline, but I wanna darken it a little bit, and I wanna see if I can get it a little bit peachy. So this is Gravitate. Let me double check. Yep. Let's go ahead and throw that on. This one is from Kosas. I love these liners, by the way. Boom, got that. Then I'm going to take this brown, it's called Depth, but I feel like there's a little bit of red in it. And I'm just going to try to shift this a little bit. I'm not going in fully, but I'm gonna see how peachy we can get this. And yes, this is a little advanced, but I thought we could have fun. I think we did it. And yes, we absolutely could have found an eyeliner and not had to mix, but sometimes we don't want to buy an eyeliner just for that. So you might already have a brown and a nude, so you can just kind of customize it. I like to give options. I don't want to just make you feel like you need to buy everything. I want to give you options with what you already have. And I don't want to go true bronzer, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on my palm only because the back of my hand has this and I'm still filming that video. These aren't moving. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love this formula, the one we have on. I'm just going to throw it here. And I'm using this because I didn't want to just go, like I said, I didn't want to go to a very true bronzer. I like these kind of blonzer situations. I'm going to pick this up on the D1. We still have the D1, by the way. Pretty. I wanted to add a little bit of warmth on the perimeter and through here. And I'm using this brush to get a little bit more pigment and precision. I'm gonna take that same Kosas liner in depth and I'm just running it through my bottom lashes. Just for a little bit more depth. It's in the name. I'm really into the corals, so I'm gonna use this Kiko Milano lip liner, but mostly in the center. See how it's starting to match that? So pretty. So this first shade is called Rose, and then this is called Rosy Brown. I'm gonna add this for definition. And then I think it'll be pretty with this Isamaya lip balm, shade Rose. My whole lip is just dedicated to rose. Yep, that's pretty. And it's gonna make the shimmer more intense because the lip liners aren't going to eat the shimmer. Now I feel like I might have found a new favorite lip recipe. This is gorgeous. Actually, I like the whole look. I hope that y'all like it. I'm gonna use some more. I know I planned on this one being a little bit more simple, but then I got a little wild. What I'll do for this next color, the blue one, is I'll just do a really, really warm lid, and then I'll just put that maybe here and here. I swear I'll do something simple. I feel like I've scattered it so much that you're not able to see the multi-chrome, but it's not a bad thing. I would just have to have used a different base, and also just a couple different techniques, but I do want to remind you that that's where we can be. And my skin tone is going to turn it a little bit more peach. But if I applied it with the C30, remember we could have built it up to that. And if the base had been really, really wet, you just get more out of it. Let me see if I can even show you more multi-chrome from it. Look how much is still on my finger. So there you go, you're seeing the green that's in it. Isn't that cool? See how it's hitting from that side? Ah, it's so cool. I love it. But yeah, a black base would really even enhance this more to where you could see more from it. There's some orange in there, and that's kind of what you're getting here. See how you're getting the orange? I'm pointing to it. But I did want to just kind of show you its full potential. Also, even when you hold it next to this blush, that's so pretty. There's that goldy green again. So pretty. All right, my friends, this is our finished look. This is a good one. I know I got a little feral, but I promise with the blue, I will tame it. I will be tame, I promise. I have to keep saying it out loud or we'll have another cut crease. These shadows are so inspiring and so much fun. I'm so excited to use these two. I'm trying to use them all this week and I just think it's gonna be a blast. All right, I love you with all of my heart and thank you for being here with me. And I'm not sure if I'm posting tonight, but no matter what, bye for now.